requires University of Iowa Healthcare to provide an audition rotation to DMU and U of I medical students. And it also requires an annual report from the University of Iowa that provides information on those students that request an audition, rotation, and or an interview, and whether or not they were offered a residency position.
Any discussion on the amendment? Fords, Representative Fords.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just got this amendment late yesterday, and I guess, I don't know, I think we're trying to micromanage here what a university here in the state of Iowa is doing. Personally, my pharmacy, I've offered residencies at my pharmacy with both the University of Iowa College of Pharmacy and Drake University. Now, I'm not doing it right now because I don't have the time, but I did it for about 6 or 8 years. And to mandate to a higher level of education institution like the University of Iowa an audition rotation, and again, I don't even know how you define that, but would be very difficult to do in my mind. If I had to offer audition rotations to people that were coming through my residency program in the pharmacy, it would make it very cumbersome, and I wouldn't have even have the time to be able to do that. And I think that putting this burden on the University of Iowa by making a required audition rotation to a student in the state of Iowa would be very cumbersome. So I'm going to ask my caucus to resist this amendment.
Any other discussion? Mary? Representative Anderson.
I have a question for the chair or anybody else, maybe Representative Fry. What is the percentage of Iowans now in these schools?
So this is for residencies.
Right.
And we are 52% are now getting interviews.
52% of Iowans who apply,
Yes.
and how many get in?
I don't have that information.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote on this. Oh, closing remarks. Sorry. Closing remarks on the amendment.
Thank you. I understand what your issue is, Representative Forbes, on the audition rotation. I do think that this is, again, one way we are attacking the problem of getting practitioners in Iowa by offering them residencies. This is, what we're hearing is we're not getting interviews at University of Iowa for DMU students. And what they're saying is, what we're saying in this is, just take a look at us, you'll like us. So that they can just get in front of somebody with an interview or an audition rotation. They may be more apt to accept them into the residency program. So I understand what your concern is on time constraints, but I think our students and our healthcare system in Iowa is worth a little extra time, and so I'm going to move the amendment. Voice vote.
Okay. Voice vote then? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
The ayes have it. We're back to the House File 270.
That's amended.
As amended. Any other discussion? 270. Go ahead.
Representative Meyer, do we know what the process of the clinical interviews is going to be for this, and how long that will take? I mean, do we have it set up to know that process and the time frame for that?
We don't have the exact time frame for that yet, no.
Any other discussion? Representative Forbes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, again. Again, I just want to reiterate my concern for this type of legislation that, you know, our higher universities of education here in the state of Iowa, I think I have a lot of confidence in them to do what's best for students here in our state. And again, I want to see as many students that graduate from our colleges and universities when it comes to medical degrees to stay in the state of Iowa. But to put mandates on higher education like this, and I'm not aware of any other state has a law in the books similar to this at this time, is concerning. And, you know, I think we always want to make sure we get the best and the brightest students that come to Iowa. And I think if we continue to try to make Iowa a better place to live, they'll stay with us. But I mean, you know, things like loan repayments to students to keep them here, I think that's a good incentive. I think we should be looking more at that. On the financial side, I mean, if you've got a $300,000 loan repayment when you graduate from medical school, and we can put in place some type of program that helps them, I think that is much more beneficial to keeping a medical student here in the state of Iowa than writing legislation that's going to tell a medical school how they're going to run their business. And so, in my mind, I have a hard time supporting this bill, and would ask my members of my caucus to resist this. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll ask for closing remarks.
Thank you. Again, I understand I understand what you're saying, Representative Forbes. I will simply pull up some data from the University of Iowa's own website. The last 2 classes of OBGYN residents that graduated, not one has stayed in Iowa. I've heard from physicians all over the state that they have residents that are doing rotations with them that are from out of state and have absolutely no plans on staying in Iowa. This is not a silver bullet to fixing Iowa's healthcare by any means, and we are attacking this from multiple angles. We are doing loan repayments. We just passed a bill on loan repayments. Iowa needs tort reform. I mean, all the states around us are lower liability for physicians. There are a lot of areas that we're going to look at to attract. This is just one, and I think giving Iowans a first shot, and we know that they are. The argument of not the brightest and the best is concerning to me, because we do have the brightest and the best students here in Iowa, and so I always feel like I need to defend our Iowans there. So with that, I'm going to move House File 270 as amended.
Take a roll.
Representative Meyer.
Aye.
Representative Bradley.
Aye.
Representative Russell Crochelle.
No.
Representative Anderson.
No.
Representative Andrews.
Aye.
Representative Bacon.
Yes.
Representative Bergen.
Aye.
Representative Bowden.
Aye.
Representative Brown Powers.
No.
Representative Bush.
Aye.
Representative Dolacek.
Aye.
Representative Eller.
No.
Representative Forbes.
No.
Representative Fry.
Aye.
Representative Jennery.
Aye.
Representative Lundgren.
Aye.
Representative Masher.
No.
Representative Moore.
Aye.
Representative Osmondson.
Aye.
Representative Sunday.
No.
13 ayes, 7 nays,